I really don't think that this schedule is as bad as people are making it out to be. I really don't. I think that they're just looking at this
It might
mountain
not be.
from a way where everyone just wants to be negative when it comes to the New York Jets. Oh, the Jets are going to have issues with this. The Jets are going to have issues with that. The Jets are going to have issues with the other thing. And it's all based on how the team performed last year. All right? Well, the team's offense stunk last year, except for certain games like the Dallas Cowboy
Yeah.
game, the Washington Redskins game, the Oakland Raiders game. But we still showed up to play. And we still ended up finishing our
Yeah.
season 6-2. Granted, we finished the year playing the junior varsity Bills in a game that they really didn't need. But who cares? You play who's on your schedule. All right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the games really that kind of interest me that are going to be a real true litmus test for this New York Jets football team are the San Francisco 49ers on week 2. All right? The Kansas City Chiefs later in the season. The Denver Broncos, the Arizona Cardinals, because they're two big question marks. Two teams that they've made a lot of changes,
Yeah.
but the arrows are pointing in the right direction. And the Broncos have always had a tough defense. The Cardinals and Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury down there. Kyler Murray
Exactly.
is a dangerous quarterback, but
We,
you really don't know
we're gonna
get with him. But I mean, you go and you take a look at some of the other
we're gonna
teams,
be tested week to week. Yeah.
right? And here's another thing too. When you go and take a look at the Jets schedule against the AFC East, at the minimum, I expect the Jets to go 3-3, possibly 4-2. I expect them to sweep the Dolphins, even though the Dolphins are much improved. I just don't think that the Dolphins are where I believe the Jets are right now. They added a lot of pieces. They have the potential to be very good. But I think that this New York Jets team, on paper, if they perform the way that they're supposed to, we should be able to take care of business against the Dolphins. We should be able to split against the Buffalo Bills, which we seem to do every year. And we should be able to split against the now Cam Newton-led New England Patriots, where we don't even know what type of Cam Newton's going to show up. You know, and I'll put this out there too, because everybody seems to
There's
now
no
be
film.
jumping on the New England Patriot bandwagon again. Ooh, the Patriots are back.
Yeah.
Ooh, Cam Newton, Belichick. Ooh. Listen, okay? Since Cam Newton played in the Super Bowl, and there are stats to go and back this up. Cam Newton, every year since he played in the Super Bowl, has taken a step back. And on top of it, he's got a Liz Frank injury, which is very, very difficult to come back from in this league. What type of offense do the New England Patriots like to run? They like to run a ground and pound offense. Why? Because they want to control the clock. Because the longer they grind your defense into the ground, the more they can take advantage of you. Okay? And this is where the New York Jets defense has to grow a set of balls and get those 3 and outs when you need the 3 and outs the most. Because we are not going to win football games spending 60 to 70% of our defense on the field. We've had this talk for the past 10 years.
Absolutely.
It's been the same garbage 10 years. Okay, and what do? Oh, let's bring an offensive-minded coach in. He's got his head so far up his ass, you turn him sideways, he looks like the letter Q. I mean, really. And everybody wants to blame Sam Darnold. Oh, Sam Darnold's a bust. Sam Darnold's a bust. Look what Sam Darnold's got to work with. The 31st ranked and the 32nd ranked offensive line. Do you think if I put Patrick Mahomes behind the Jets offensive line last year that took the field, do you think Patrick Mahomes has the stats that he has last year? Tell me the truth.
No.
Right.
Yeah,
the answer
no.
is a big
No.
fat
Not at
no.
all.
Okay?
Not at all.
You put Tom
Not
Brady
at all.
behind
Not
this
at all.
behind this offensive line. Does Tom Brady have the stats that he has last year?
No.
No. Okay. Who else do you want me to put in?
No
Do you want me to
one,
put
no
Russell
one
Wilson
forms under
in?
that type
Do
of
you
pressure.
want me to put Jimmy Garoppolo in? Name
Doesn't make a
Drew
difference.
Brees. Name your quarterback.
Doesn't make a difference.
Right. So how can we
Doesn't make a
consciously
difference.
sit here
It
and
doesn't.
say that Sam Darnold is a bust when you give him nothing to work with?
Yeah,
How?
that's premature. We obviously know that's premature.
Right.
There's no way somebody can expect that something like that is realistic. So we'll give to this. We have an opportunity right now. Just if the defense can be a top 5 defense. The special teams, which has routinely over the course of the past couple of years been tops in leagues, since Brent Boyer has been here. And we also we need to keep an eye on him also, because Brent Boyer is actually going to be a candidate for somebody else's coaching position. We're going to need to be smart about how we handle him also. But we have, in this moment right now, so many questions. Sam Darnold and Josh Allen are vacationing, and they're working out with Jordan Palmer right now together in the offseason. But as far as I'm concerned, if Sam Darnold isn't giving him the side eye, looking at Josh Allen like this clown, I'm going to completely and totally embarrass him every single time that we play him this season. I think that it's wasted time. Sam Darnold, I think, is going to be a better quarterback than every other quarterback that's in the AFC East as of right now. I do believe that. But Josh Allen right now has a better team. The Patriots, they have a better team. Cam Newton, to be quite honest with you, may actually be better than Sam Darnold at this point in his career, specifically because he has the experience that he has, and Sam is still kind of making bonehead throws, even though Cam does that too. But I still think that over the course of time, I think Sam can actually be better. I think that we may actually end up having a better offensive line situation this season. We'll see how that shakes out also. But this is going to be exciting, CJ. To the point when you say 4-2 in the AFC East this season, I think that's possible too. I do think we split, and I think that we split because nobody has film on anybody. Nobody knows what it is that we're to do. And then towards the end of the season, when it starts to become a little bit more apparent who is what and what they look like, I think that's when we beat some of those teams.
Yeah, I completely agree, and this is the reason why. Like when I see people, both on Facebook and on Twitter and on other social media outlets, saying that like the Jets are maybe going to go 5-11, they're going to go 6-10, they're going to struggle. I mean, look, if the Jets were to go 5-11 or 6-10, then Adam Gase deserves to be fired. There's no question whatsoever. Because with this team and with this schedule that the Jets are facing, if the Jets want to consider themselves a playoff contender, okay, hear me out, because I see the look on your face. You're getting ready to give me some wisdom. So, hear me out, though. If the New York Jets, okay, are going to consider themselves a playoff team or ready for the playoffs, then guess what? You have to beat teams like the Seahawks, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Oakland Raiders, the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah. You need to be competitive against these teams, not have them come into your building.
I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid right now. Yeah.
Right? Which means
I get it.
Needs to produce. Sam Darnold cannot be on national television saying, I see ghosts. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Running for his life. Running for his life. But see, that's I feel you. I just hate the word playoffs when Adam Gase is our head coach.
Look, I do too, but you know what?
That's the biggest problem that I have. I just, again, just because I keep saying, and I said this earlier, I think it's really scary for Jets fans to have expectations, because Murphy's Law basically should be stitched and tattooed into every single one of our hats. Whatever happens, or the worst possible damn thing that could happen is going to happen when it comes
Right.
to this team. And again, I wish I could go with you. And really, I believe that we have. I'm just afraid of. I'm afraid right now. Playoffs. I feel like I'm going to jinx it if I say I feel like we're going to go to the playoffs. I'm going to
here's
jinx
the
it.
reason
We're
why
gonna
I say
we're going to go.
we need
12
to be
12.
we need to be able to make a playoff push, okay? Because
Yeah.
the whole purpose that Adam Gase was brought here was to work with Sam Darnold and to turn the New York Jets into a playoff team. Am I right? Those were the words of Christopher Johnson during his hiring process, right? Christopher Johnson he was interested in winning football games. He doesn't want to win. He didn't want to win the media battle, right? The Jets, all of a sudden, we don't want to win the media battle. We want to win football games.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
we'll get into that a little bit later.
Here's what Joe Douglas did. Okay, Joe Douglas went and spent considerable amount of resources with what he had to rebuild the offensive line. All right? He made smart signings. He made very smart one-year show-me deals. And his rationale for it is if you want to be here for the glory days, then you need to work your ass off during the rebuilding. Don't just celebrate the glory and have somebody else do all the hard work. Wasn't that pretty much the gist of what we've been hearing since Joe Douglas has been GM this entire offseason? Because that's the way how I interpreted it.
Yeah, that's what we heard.
Right. So now I'm also thinking that a conversation has been had between Joe Douglas and Adam Gase behind closed doors.
Yeah. Hopefully.
That these are the pieces of the puzzle. I expect you to put them together. And if Adam Gase cannot put the pieces of the puzzle together with a clearly revamped roster that took the field last year, okay, a much better offensive line, which took the field last year,
yes.
If he cannot get this offensive unit off the ground, then heads need to roll. Then he needs to go.
Period.
Then Roggins needs to go. Then Cooter needs to go. And
Period.
Pollock needs to go. Plain and simple.
The entire offensive staff.
Right. Your entire offensive coaching staff, including the head coach, needs to go.
Entire.
And then either you give the keys to Greg Williams and you say this is your ship, you drive it, or you make a play for Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think there's gonna be some hard questions about that. There's gonna be some hard questions about that though, CJ. And I think because both of them have a little bit of baggage with the talking points that are gonna get thrown around when it comes time to consider who is going to be, especially because Greg Williams is so beloved by the fans, but he does have some history with him. And I think it's going to be part of the discussion. Bieniemy and some of the questions about his experience and behind Andy Reid and all of that there's going to be some dirt flung on him also. So I don't think it's really as cut and dry as that, but I hope that it is. Those two guys, if it came down to either one of those two guys, honestly, I would be happy with the outcome. So I'm looking forward to that. We're gonna continue to talk about this a little further, and then I'll save some of the remainder of my comments for how ownership handles some of this stuff. Also, is going to be really important.